God, things suck for Bridesmaids. This isn't me being mean, this is me being realistic. Bridesmaid comes out in between Thor and Pirates of the Caribbean, and the week after is The Hangover Part 2. That's a tough time for a full female cast. It's a lot of boys. And boys are dicks when it comes to sharing. I'd love to be wrong though, this would open up the door for so many great female comedies. Here's a challenge for you. I'd like you to think of a comedy starring a female that doesn't end with her getting a guy at the end. I've given this a ton of thought. I can only think of one, and that's Heathers. Good movie, but it came out in '88. But before we even get into the film, which we really haven't so far, I'd like to talk about the poster real quick. Girls in dresses, looking exhausted, exhibiting toot in front of a brick wall. Gosh, what could they be trying to emulate? And what's worst about these posters is that they completely misconstrue how the characters are. Can you guess who the innocent one is? It's her, clearly. Notice the way that she's pigeon-toed? And yeah, the fact that she's glaring, that's just a front. Or the marketing team just wanted to make a wedding scene badass. Bridesmaids follows Kristen Wiig's character, Annie, whose friend Lillian becomes engaged, and subsequently... I don't want to use the word subsequently. So Annie becomes the maid of honor. But being the maid of honor, there are a few responsibilities that come with that, and she starts to butt heads with one of the other bridesmaids, Helen. Helen is the real thorn here. Basically, will Helen beat Annie for Lillian's affection? Or will Annie rise to the challenge, stop being a fuck-up, and prove to Lillian how great of a friend she is? This is actually where things get a little dicey. A lot of comedy plays on the tension and discomfort between Helen and Annie, but sometimes to the film's detriment. Scenes of awkward exchanges run too long, especially in the middle section. Speaking of which, the end of the second act just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. They just keep piling shit on top of Kristen Wiig. It gets to the point where it's downright gloomsfest. Sounds like an emo rock festival. Man, I'm so glad I have these gloom sticks for MCR. Gloom sticks are glow sticks a day after you've cracked them. That's not to say, however, that the film isn't funny. It is. There are many strong scenes, such as the dress shop, the wedding shower, and everything that happens on the plane. And with such a small cast, everybody is delivering a very solid performance. Wiig is good, and probably the biggest name on this. But the standout for me is Melissa McCarthy, who plays Megan, the groom's brash sister. She's constantly energizing scenes and is playful while playing the reality. And fun discovery, she's in Mike and Molly on CBS. Not gonna watch the show, but if you're a fan of the show, hey, she's in this. Rose Byrne's performance is also worth mentioning, since you will hate her so much. Every time she's on screen, she's just getting under Kristen Wiig's skin and yours. Also, I'm very glad that Chris O'Dowd is getting more feature film exposure. I know I should be talking more about the girls, but I absolutely love IT Crowd. It's a show from across the pond. You can stream it on Netflix, and he's great in it. And in this. That's all I'll say about it. Bridesmaids is a pretty solid comedy up against a lot of rough competition, and it probably would have done better earlier in the year. But even if you don't catch it in theaters, it's still worth putting on your Netflix queue, as it offers a strong female cast, a lot of funny scenes, and a really good metaphor conversation about brake lights. I give Bridesmaids 3 out of 5 dresses. Those are my thoughts on Bridesmaids. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, or check out previous reviews, or the mystery box. As for me, I'm gonna work on my gloom sticking. Yeah, there we go. God, this would be so much easier if I actually had glow sticks and shoelaces. Honestly, this is horrifying. Oh. Why do people do this on E?